G'day, is Budapest the best F1 city? Well, it's certainly got a lot going for it. I'm standing in the centre of the city now and I rate the transport system. There's underground, lots of lime, scooters, bicycles, buses, trams. It offers far better value in terms of food pricing and accommodation. And when people ask me to recommend races, this one is always in my list. But before I go into more detail, let me go back to London where this journey started, and I had a few nights staying in the city at one of the best hotels in the world, the Shangri-La. This hotel occupies some 20 odd floors at the top of the Shard, which is a stunning building and offers the most amazing views out over this city. In fact, I think it's probably in the top 5 hotels that I've ever stayed at in my life. Staff are fantastic, the view's magnificent, and as a base, I totally loved it. But now, let's head to Budapest. This is indeed a very ordinary looking check-in area and a terminal for that. Hey? Isn't that funny?
Oh, yes.
Bit of a wait to check in, but the staff member was exceptional. Being a Qantas Platinum Gold member, I've got a choice of lounges today. The Qantas one's not actually open, but I've chosen the cafe, and I like it. They've got a kitchen here that'll cook for you, an extensive bar, some Western-style food over here, and various places to sit and lounge with a view over the apron. Oh, one thing, if you happen to sit in these little booths, be very careful when you sit down, because if you put your weight on the front of the chair, the back just lifts up completely, and very easily you could be on the floor. I chose the dim sum, and that should not be served in a lounge like this. That is way too good a quality. That is restaurant quality. And now I'm into the fried rice, which being cooked in front of you is a lot better than stuff out of a bain-marie. Well, for lunch it was chicken with some lovely potatoes, some gorgeous cheese with some quince paste, I think, and that was certainly a much better meal than I had on the flight over here from Vienna. So that's reinforced my confidence in their meals on board BA, because I always thought they were pretty good airline food-wise. Well, here again in Budapest, one of my favourite cities in the world. They need a couple of extra people doing immigration checks. And the male cabin crew on that British Airways flight were very ordinary, the least interested of any cabin crew I've had on that airline. Maybe it's the end of a long day, who knows. Well, it was 35 minutes in a car from the airport to the Ritz. About to check in. It's 36 degrees outside. It's going to be hot for the whole week. Luckily, this place is beautifully air-conditioned.
I can offer you some Italian Prosecco and some orange juice.
Nice touch on arrival that we get a glass of Prosecco and orange juice. Very refreshing. Well, this is a superior room at the Ritz-Carlton in Budapest. 34.5 odd square metres, beautifully furnished. Air conditioning is fantastic, and you need it because it's darn hot here this week. And in terms of position, I think it's just ideal, right opposite this park with a glorious Ferris wheel. I've just come back from talking to the management downstairs, because when I checked in, they said they'd given me an upgrade, which I was grateful for, obviously, to a larger room with a better view. Yes, the view is nice, but the room's no larger. It's 34 square metres, and I went downstairs and said, have a look at hotels.com. It says this room should be 36 square metres, but on your website it should be 35, but the room I've got is 34. So I don't know what to believe. They were nice about it, but I just think they need to be very careful. If they're promoting 36 square metre room, it needs to be the minimum, not the maximum. Now, if you're one of those people who says, what are you whinging about 1 or 2 square metres? For a brand like Ritz-Carlton, they can't afford to be giving people less than what they expect. They should be quoting their lowest number and giving people more. That said, I'm having a lovely time, and it is a great hotel. Well, on a very hot day in Budapest, I've been told to come and try Smashy Burger. So this is my burger. Oh, and by the way, I asked for a Coke, but when I went to pick mine out of the fridge, because that's what you do, they're all hot. So I thought rather a hot water as opposed to a hot Coke. But anyway, the fries, I had those. They're good. Oh yeah, they're very good. But this is what I've come for. 2 patties of meat, cheese. Now that's how it's presented. Looks messy, certainly oily. They only have 2 different burgers. One's a cheeseburger and one's a house burger. And the only difference I could work out was that the sauce on the other one is a house sauce and this is just ketchup and mayonnaise. It's a very good burger. It's not as good as In-N-Out, and I mark everything in relation to In-N-Out because I just think their burgers are fresh, the lettuce is crisp, made to order, but still, this is great. Oh yeah. Right, so I'm overlooking the hot Coke, I'm overlooking the greasy floor and the cajoling of a tip because this is a well above average burger. I'm rating this 8.4. And if you're expecting to dine in, forget it. It is simply take out. So I've had to walk about 100 metres to find somewhere to eat it, albeit that's standing up here at this bar. Well, having had a burger, I'm now going to head back to my hotel. I'm going to have a crack at the underground here. That took a little bit of work, and for about $1 US, a little bit over, I get to go a couple of stops on the underground. Well, the subway carriages are clean, although noisy and very warm. Now we're in for some very hot weather this week in Budapest, so things like these water sprays are very popular. It is Euro Cup final night and we're a few hours away from the kickoff, and already some British boys behind me getting pretty excited. It should be a ripper night here in the centre of Budapest.
Score prediction is 2-0 England, Foden early goal and Cole Palmer on the break in the 92nd. Why am I here?
Budapest?
I'm here for my friend's stag, otherwise I would be in Berlin. Very jealous of the fans in Berlin, but we're going to be very English heavy in here tonight and we're going to watch the boys bring it home.
2-1 or 3-1 for Spain.
España is going to win 2-1.
Well, it's another hot night in Budapest, but this is a great idea. This is free drinking water.
Spain, champions of Europe.
Well, the favourites triumph tonight, Spain winning 2-1, and there's a very enthusiastic crowd here in the streets of Budapest. Well behaved, but just jubilant. But in terms of cities for F1 races, I love this one, Budapest. I love it because there's this lovely open air feel in the centre of town. Lots of people out here, they're all good fun, keen to have a good time. It's good value too in terms of food and drink and accommodation. And you've got this beautiful Ferris wheel behind me. Well, today I'm checking out of the Ritz and I'm walking next door to an equally as fine hotel, the Kempinski. I've stayed at this hotel 3 or 4 times and I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful room in a beautiful hotel. The air conditioning's good, and that's always a bit of a concern because this place is very hot at the moment. They've had a couple of weeks of very high temperatures, but a few days before checking in I was sent an email and I was able to customise my stay, and I asked for a memory foam pillow. I got 2, but this one is my absolute favourite. And how's that for a view? So getting back to the question of whether Budapest is the best F1 city, I think it's in the top 3 in terms of vibrancy in the city centre. The track is, 25-35 minutes out of town by car. It's not a great track, but they're making some improvements to it. In terms of getting around speaking English, had absolutely no problem with it. The staff in all the 5 stars are obviously fluent, and even in some of the smaller shops you have little, if any, problem. Taxis are fair value, and the only downside really is the heat. But if you like hot weather, this could be your event. With that said, I now have to go and have some lunch, so please hit the like button and subscribe if you have not done so. And for a whole lot of extra content and merchandise, these are the links you need. Thanks for watching.
And stay passionate.
Your wide shot for you.